This is Night Mike. I almost said Live Mike, but it's about the same thing. I'm Michael Gantt, your host. Now, you're going to notice a pretty interesting and active background behind me tonight. And I'm going to leave that up there throughout the program because I'm going to be promoting an event that's coming up and that I'm very excited about. And I wanted to invite you to take part in it. I've got a guest tonight, and I'm going to introduce him in just a couple of minutes, but I did want to make a couple of program notes. Now, remember, we live stream on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X simultaneously, so you can share this with your friends across platforms, and it's so good to have you in here. I want to talk about an event that's coming up. It's called the Leadership and Legacy Summit, and it's sponsored by the Better Man Summit, a part of Redemption Church in Westminster, Vermont. Pastor Corey Graves, men's leader Mike Delaney, and they put this together. They have a great men's ministry up there, and they have a once-a-month men's breakfast that's well attended. It's very, very helpful, and I would recommend check it out sometime. I think it's every second Saturday of the month, and they call it Better Man. But they're sponsoring a Leadership and Legacy Conference or Summit coming up on the 25th of October. Just in a couple of weeks here, starting at 8 a.m. in the morning and running all day. I'm going to be doing a lot of the teaching. I'm going to be joined by Pastor Corey Graves and my good friend, Dr. Harold Noyes from the Community Christian Church over in Athens, Vermont. We're going to have a great time. It's just $19 for the entire day. You get refreshments and lunch, and you can sign up. It's right there on the bottom of the page. Just go to redemptionchurchvermont.org, redemptionchurchvermont.org. And then one more program announcement on the 28th of October on Live Mike, which is my Tuesday morning program. I'm going to be welcoming into the studio my good friend, Patricia Durgan. She is the head of Marketers on a Mission, and she works with Christian influencers, authors, folks who do blog posts, all of those types of things that are trying to reach the world with the gospel of Christ. And she's a writing and speaking coach. She serves Christian communicators. And I wanted Patricia to, she is absolutely an adorable, bubbly personality, and you will love her. That is on October 28th at 9 a.m. in the morning on Live Mic. Join me for that. Well, I want to welcome into the studio tonight a new friend. His name is Leon Moore, and he is right in the birthing stages of a new ministry. I met him just a few weeks ago at another event, and I invited him to come on Night Mike tonight and to share his heart. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. He's never done an online interview before, and I sort of gathered that he's nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But Leon, welcome to the studio and welcome to Night Mike. How are you tonight?
Well, thanks for breaking that ice for me.
Well, you'll become an old pro after a while. You do enough of these things, you know. You'll do a great job. But you're Leon Moore. You're from Charlestown, New Hampshire. That's your home, right?
That is.
That's right. And you've tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll get to your ministry that you're starting off a little bit later. One of the things I like to do is to say to people don't want to know what you do until they know who you are.
Yes.
So tell us who you are. Tell us about yourself, your family. I know you got some grandkids. You don't have as many as I do, but you're working on it.
So I'm originally born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, so you're a Cali boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, through, I guess, from a long shot military, my wife and I ended up here, and she's from New Hampshire. So that's where I chose to be, other than raise my family in the streets of the city. I didn't think was appealing, but after being raised in Four Seasons in East here, I think there's nothing wrong with the West Coast weather.
Well, I'm a North Carolinian, so it took me a while, but I've been in the Northeast since 1967, if you can believe that, since 1967.
Well, you got me beat. So, yeah, I was born into foster care as far as I know.
Hmm.
My youngest recollection, I never recall living with my mom or dad. I knew my brothers and sisters,
Hmm.
and then being raised by foster parents who were of Christian foundation,
Hmm.
and I kind of liked the lifestyle, and it was welcoming, and I guess I should say more family structured.
Hmm.
When I was growing up through childhood through teenage years, of course that was a long time ago, I had a problem with not belonging. Okay, and that was when I seen kids of my age um, had parents, moms and dads, and I didn't, or who were part of athletic teams, and I wasn't. I wanted to be a part. I wanted to fit in,
Hmm.
and those things weren't happening for me. So, of course, as I grew older, I started to understand what would make me feel good
Hmm.
and fit in. And I started running the streets with kids who made me feel good. And those are kids who had the same ideas I had. And I didn't know that until I happened to get into the wrong behaviors.
Hmm.
So I was probably about 15, 16 years old. Yeah, the average age of teenage rebellion. And parents would think, what's going on? What, aren't we teaching the right things? Yeah, you are, but something is not fitting to this kid.
Hmm.
So um, that type of behavior happened until um, I heard that after you turn 16 years old, you can decide that you wanted to emancipate. And what is that? So I talked to my social worker a small bit about that word, and it was put aside for me, and they didn't want to talk about it. So um, I was basically told that you need to be um, mindful of what you're learning from school or from people outside of this home,
Hmm.
and just do what you can do to age 18, and then you don't have to listen to what anyone says.
Hmm.
So I tested that one, went a couple of more years. Of course, all this time I went through school and I didn't do well at public schools at all. Not, I don't even realize that. I didn't realize that they passed me from one grade to the next for what, I don't know. And it was a system that I think thought then it was broken, and I still think today it is. But after I got to be around 18, I said I wasn't going to live here anymore. I'm not going to take it anymore. And it was basically, you don't have to. Here's your stuff, here's your bags. And they were actually plastic bags, garbage bags, and said, you can leave. And yep, where was I going to go? I knew my brother lived in not too far away from me, and I don't recall how I got there, but I do remember ending up at his house, apartment rather, and saying I need a place to stay. And I had a place for a week or two, and then out of his place I went. I did learn something in school. One thing was that if you, there was a commercial that comes to mind. It's not a job, it's an adventure. And I think,
Uh-oh.
well,
I know that slogan. I know where you're going next.
it's not a job, it's an adventure. And I'm like, okay, I need this adventure. And I ended up at a recruiter's office, and they had me hook, line, and sinker. Everything. And I needed 3 hots in the cot. That I needed, everything that they had to offer.
Right.
And it was a nice haircut and everything. And quickly I was out of there. But before that happened, I had to get some papers signed. Still, somebody had to be responsible for me. Who does that have to be? Well, I weren't in foster care. I wasn't in custody anymore. So they had to find my mother.
Wow.
Oh my, how are we going to do that? Well, we left it up to the recruiter, the Army recruiter. And while I wait, he searched and searched and searched, and reported back one day that he found my mother, and here's the documents that she had to sign. And they were all signed. And
wow.
I asked the questions: where was she? How did she act? How did she seem? And he's really startled that I didn't know my mother or where she was. So there was that type of disconnect. Yes.
Yeah.
And so from real early childhood up to now, at that point, I didn't know real relationship. None at all.
Hey, I need to interrupt you, Fred. I want to tell you a funny story. When you said that, it's not a job, it's an adventure. One time I had a young man come into I was actually working around the church, and a young man came in, and he announced to me, he said, "Well, I fixed my old man." I said, "What do you mean you fix your old man?" He said, "I am sick and tired of him telling me everything to do, and I fixed it." I said, "What did you do to fix it?" He said, "I joined the army." I said, "Oh boy, oh boy, are you in for a wake-up call? You haven't learned about somebody telling you every move to make. You are going to get a whole new experience now." He came back to see me after he graduated boot camp, and he said, "Man, why didn't you warn me?" I said, "It was too late. You had already signed on the dotted line, and I figured you needed that adventure."
Right.
But he figured he had really done his daddy in for ordering him around, boy. And I said, "Let me tell you what, you're in for a whole new awakening." So you're in the army now.
Oh, so yes, the military was not for me, and they were not. I was not for them.
Yeah.
Real quick, it was an adventure that ended at its beginning.
Yeah.
And I did hang out long enough to know that I was lonely, and I did not know what relationships was all about.
Yeah.
And I met a woman, and it was like never ever before had I ever met anybody. Of course, I was vulnerable then too, lacking everything, all of life and everything. And this woman is now my wife and has been for 42 years, 43 years.
Wow, that is an amazing. Usually those stories, I met a woman and knew nothing about relationships. Those stories don't have that kind of ending normally. Normally that's a disaster waiting to happen, but God was good. He gave you one, and you've stuck with it. Amen.
And like you said, normally, because this is totally abnormal. Because God knew, like, I didn't know. He knew I didn't know, and that I was just running down a trail that I just was running away. So when my wife and I got together, I said, "This is what I need. This is what I want. I want kids and a family, and I seen this happily ever after, and we got married and did our tour. She was in the military, and we did our tour, and things weren't happily ever after because I still had baggage, and she had her life and I had mine, and we brought it together, and it kind of didn't mesh, but we lived that life for a long time before God came in to the picture. And I believe it was we had a child in 1981, and that was our first. And 1983.
You got a train nearby. You're living on the wrong side of the tracks, man.
Yeah,
that's great.
So and all the while being in the military, of course, that was excellent childbirth arrangement because all the bills were paid.
Right.
So no debt there. And yeah, so 3 kids, and very, very nice, happy family. We went through our bouts and things of addiction, and yes, I fought with addiction until when was it 1986 was when I went into sobriety, and God delivered me from my fight with addiction. Yes, and I would like to say that that was the end of things, but no, my kids have had their bout with it, and they are doing well now, and I have what was it in 2005? No, 2005. My wife came back from Iraq. Sorry, she went with the reserves over to help a reserve unit go over to war over there, and that was just a difficult time for me to be here with a son who's graduating high school and a grandson, and it just got really tough, me dealing, and I was working in the school district, yeah, and I was doing substance abuse counseling, and I was really not fit to be counseling anybody at that time, with my wife being over there. I had needed counseling. So I took some time to sit back and think. And when she got back, I wanted to vow to her that I wouldn't leave her or anybody would come between our marriage again. And so we opened up a small store down the road from our house, and we vowed to work together for the rest of our lives. Oops, wait a minute. We got to live together and work together. We might create our own war then.
Right.
But it was a good idea in thinking, but that didn't last long, because remember, after 2005 came, 2008 was right up on us with the recession.
Right. Yeah, that's hard for business. Yeah.
Yeah, our moms and pop shops didn't make it, and that's what we had. We had a small store. I say all that to say this, that I try so hard to do what I can for God, and I just don't want to listen to what He asks me to do. And I want to walk all the way around the other way, and He said, no, walk this way.
Mhm.
And no, him and Han, I want to do it my way still. And he says, no, the business is not a store. And I still wouldn't listen. So finally, the store is closing 2011. And I ended up taking a job for, the store didn't close before my brother came to
Mhm.
Putney, Vermont. He was in I had to add this part here, because he was a one-man show, my brother Len Manning, and he came to Putney, Vermont, a little theater there, and he did a play there, just a one-man show. It was really good, and I had to bring him from the play after his show to my store and show him that I am a business owner.
Mhm.
And it was so nice to see him and have him there in my store. We didn't stop there before we stopped at Curtis's barbecue.
Curtis Barbecue, yeah.
Yes, yes. So those are a couple of things that I did remember before my store closed. And the store closed, and I had to go work for a nursing home.
Mhm.
Didn't have to. That was the only thing that stood out for me. I say all that to say that God orchestrates all of our steps and the way we should go. And I know that there is a purpose for me. And I know that now because all of these, I was brought up in foster care. I did not know anything really about relationships. I didn't know anything about family. And I mean, all these things are drawing the picture of where these connections that are broken down in my life are being mended together really well. And it could not be done better by me or by an engineer, but God has taken these things, and here I am at this nursing home, and I'm cooking for these people, and they're loving everything that I do, and I'm part of a team, and I'm part of a community, a relationship that I had no connection with. And I'm looking at even jobs before that. I've been involved with the substance abuse um, profession, the alternative education profession. I've been involved with all of these things in my life that God says, Leon, we need we need you as this person, not that, you know. And I take and put anything in there to avoid what
Mhm.
he's telling me. These are my talents for you.
Mhm.
So I applied to the state of New Hampshire to become a foster parent, and immediately I'm accepted. I'm welcomed. I'm, open arms. Um, yes, you can take 6 kids. Wow, and we can fill your home. Uh, I'm like, wow. So my kids grew up and went out and started living themselves, and um, my wife and I, we um, really have not had a quiet moment in our house since um, the days of um, since we accepted foster care,
Mm.
and we get calls all the time. Um, I have I've adopted a sibling pair, um, and she's in college, her 3rd year of college, and he's in he'll be 1st year starting in October this month,
Uh,
and he's in California. Um, so it's been a marvelous time with yeah.
how many children? How many children have you guys fostered?
When I count, right now we're emergency placement.
Mm-hmm.
That's anywhere from that's 10-day stay,
Mm-hmm.
and those could be, yeah, that's a short term. So I would say, and then again too, I'm guessing. Um, I would say anywhere 17, 17, 20, somewhere around there.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. All right.
yeah.
So when I met you at Redemption Church a few weeks ago, you introduced me to a new project you're working on called On Solid Ground. Tell us about that.
On solid ground is um, I hate to call it a program because that's putting it all in a package,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a program that is helping age kids out of foster care or homelessness,
Mm-hmm.
um, and become more successful adults.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, helping them. Um, I I'd like to think that we would do better as a community. That means our agencies and organizations locally and statewide, even that um, could help out doing this. It's not On Solid Ground is not um, a only organization in a nutshell. It's many different um, um, aging out of foster care
Mm-hmm.
situations like it all over the United States and internationally.
Mm-hmm.
But what it does is it's more than just a home. It's more than just teaching kids what it's about to rent a house. It's teaching you what it is to live as a successful adult, you know, and how it's done.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have your hard times and your low times and your high times, and you know where and who you can go to do that with. We're gonna have mentors from agencies like Windsor County Mentors.
Mm-hmm.
As one idea of a um, local entity.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's and kids are pretty much going to come with some I wouldn't say healthcare, but they'll have social workers and
Mm-hmm.
things that they're still with. A lot of the kids that we're dealing with are going to be aged out of foster care. So they're not going to be attached to the system
Yeah.
very much, you know.
Yeah. Sounds to me, Leon, like what you're trying to do here is to provide a service that was not provided for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I, I'm glad that times have changed because they have aftercare program now. And I know in New Hampshire, which probably has the same in Vermont, aftercare programs that have aging out youth have the opportunity to continue to be connected with the foster care system in a way of extended foster care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So I've put on the bottom a banner that is the website for your fledgling organization. It's onsolidgroundnewhampshire.org.
yeah,
People can go there. They can see what you're doing. I believe you've got plans for a building that you want to put up. Is that a residential place where kids are going to come and live?
yes, we have plans for dorm style living where we'll be training youth to live on their own. And yeah, it's a dorm style living, and got cooking, financial. Of course, I'm the director here,
Mhm.
so I don't have to know a lot of this stuff. Just gotta think it.
You got experts in there, huh?
Right.
Well, I did look at some of your material, and it looks to me like you've put together a pretty good team of
Yes.
professional people who are interested in doing this. And I think what is of course, as I mentioned to you earlier, one of my boys and he and his wife are involved in the foster care system here in the state in Vermont. They've fostered a number of children. They've adopted 3 of them. Most of theirs were babies when they got them, but one of the things, of course, our church is located in a low income very transient community, and there's lots of kids. And I think one of the missing links for a lot of children is that gap when they are no longer, they're too old to be in the foster care system, but they're really not capable. They don't know how to rent a house. They don't know how to manage their finances. They don't even know how to apply for a job. And it sounds to me like what you're looking to do is to help young people develop those skills.
Yes.
Those skills in terms of, and I will be honest with you. I look at our educational system, and I don't see our educational system teaching children to do those things when they're in high school, like manage their money or apply for a job, or, I mean, do they even do home economics anymore, where they teach kids how to cook and sew and balance their checkbook? And it's a scary world. It's a scary world out there for somebody that does know how to balance a checkbook and does know how to manage their money. And I'm imagining for a child aging out of foster care, and all of a sudden, well, what did they say to you? Here's your bags. Yeah, here's your bags. You're on your own. And that's got to be a terrifying situation. So if I'm reading you right, you're trying to bridge that gap.
Yes.
And provide a community where kids can learn how to do the things that they're going to need to learn to do before they have to do them all by themselves.
Yes. Mm. Because I know now that it's all about relationship. That's all I was hunting for all my life. And that's what I came in connection with when I started learning what it was that I needed. And when I start taking in foster kids, I start giving them that relationship. And I got kids that want to work, that want to go into college, that want to make a difference, that love to see how their savings account increases.
Yeah.
By their own making. That's exciting.
It really is. And I will tell you that basically what you're setting up is an opportunity for young people to be mentored, to be taught the skills that they need to exist in this life, something you did not have.
Yes.
Something you did not have. And I will be honest with you, you don't know this about me, but had it not been as a young person for a man stepping into my life, I would have been right where a lot of the kids are that you're talking about. But I had someone. He didn't adopt me. I was living with my mom, but my mom was, long story, I won't get into it, but she was really not able to raise me. I pretty much raised myself, and I did a lot of it wrong. And I had a man who stepped into my life, and I call him my dad. He was the only spiritual father, the only father I ever knew. And he taught me how to do that stuff. And there's so many kids in my generation who were raised up. And now we see here in Brattleboro and in the neighborhood where we are, we see, let me say this the right way, we see parents who were not parenting. They were not parented, trying to parent children. And it's a generational curse. It goes generation after generation after generation of people who were not parented. They don't parent their own kids, and because they don't know how. They never were. And they need someone, to step in and teach them basic functional skills. Yeah. Now, I know you're a believer. I know you're a Christ follower. How does that fit into this program? Is that just by example? You lead them by the way you live? Are you building some kind of spiritual component into this thing?
Well, we've had kids come to live with us from all walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
And every Sunday we have worship at our church,
Mm-hmm.
and it's no option.
There you go.
We are going to church, and this is what we do. And after church, we'll have lunch.
Then are you like me? Then do you all go take a nap? Because that's my Sunday afternoon ritual. I got to have my Sunday afternoon nap. My wife watches NASCAR and I go to sleep. But you know, we have a generation of children who have not been, for all intents and purposes, they have not been parented. Our culture, you know, mom and dad are out chasing their career in so many cases, and particularly in our town, we see children who are just on the streets.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like it was when you were a kid in California.
Yes.
Just on the streets, learning things from the streets. And let me tell you something: sex education in the locker room is no education. You know, and all of those things, you know, that children are really robbed of.
Mm.
It sounds to me like, and I love the name of this ministry, On Solid Ground. It sounds to me like that's the goal, is to have these kids come into adulthood on a solid footing.
Yes.
On a solid footing. And so you've been doing this in your home for a number of years. You've got kids that are headed to college that you fostered, right? I'm remembering right? And so basically what you're doing is you're expanding that and kind of building a bigger home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that's exciting. That's also challenging. Give me an idea. I'm looking at our clock here. I don't want to lose time here. Give me an idea what you're looking at. All right, to build this center, to build this home, what's that going to cost you?
Well, we had plans and had a contractor give us the numbers, and they're looking over $2 million to put that on in foundation and structure and furnished everything.
Yeah. $2 million.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty daunting, isn't it? But God is able.
Hey, we got it going right now.
Okay. Well, I tell you, if God is in it, I was raised by a pastor who told me if God orders something, he pays for it. If what we're doing is God ordained, he owns the cattle on 1,000 hill, and he will pay for it. And I grew up believing that if I'm really hearing God, it doesn't matter what my inadequacies are or my shortcomings or my lack of resources. If God orders it, he pays for it. So I'm going to tell the folks who are in here, and there'll be a lot of people who will watch this later, on the bottom of your screen there is the website for onsolidgroundnewhampshire.org. And on that website, there is a place where people can donate toward this project. And let's just be right up front. You're looking at, and $2 million is just to put a roof over their head. That's it. That's not, that's not operating expenses. That's just getting started expenses. Right. And that's a huge dream, Leon. Are you up to it?
Oh, that's not my dream. I tried to avoid that route.
So you really told God no, huh? And he didn't take no for an answer.
No, didn't take no for an answer. Mm-hmm. I believe he says something about leadership and legacy.
Well, leadership and legacy. Well, you're a leader, and I believe you are going to leave a legacy, and I think that I tell men all the time, as a matter of fact, it's my wheelhouse. It's where I prefer to be, is speaking to men. And the only thing we can leave in our life when we leave this world are those lives that we have touched, those lives we have. That's the only impact. That's the only legacy we can leave. And with your heart, and your wife is fully on board with this.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And what other types of people? Now I remember I saw the materials, and I've got them here somewhere. I just couldn't find them today when I was going to look them. On your board or on your staff, you've got a number of people. What is it that they're going to do? You don't have to tell us who they are or anything. Just describe to me what their job description is.
Oh, board members are not anybody of the program.
Right, I understand that. Yeah.
And we just need some voting people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. This is exciting. Maybe when you break ground, I'll come over and do a live feed right from where you're building, and we'll show people what's going on.
Hey, that'd be great.
I am blessed. I am blessed when I meet a man who is willing to step out on faith. I know you're not a rich man. I'm pretty sure of that. but you have already established a pattern demonstrating you have a heart for children who don't have those relationships, just like you didn't have them. You know, it's interesting. I tell people all the time, my kids grew up with an extra kid laying on the couch, sleeping on the couch their whole lives. There was always an extra person or two in the house, because that was what impacted my life as a young person, was somebody who said, yeah, come on, get under my wing here. I'll show you how it's done. I'll intercede for you when you need intercession. I'll be there for you. And my kids grew up. As a matter of fact, I can think of a couple of young men. One of them's in the ministry now, who grew up in our house. My oldest son treats him like a brother. He calls them, we're brothers from different mothers. And he spent a lot of time in our house, and I can go back with a list as long as my arm. We didn't foster them, but we put a roof over their head, when they didn't have one. And so I have a real heart for that. I have a real heart for that. I remember back when I was in foster care as a little boy. Please tell their names. It was Clarence and Ruby Long. I was with them for almost 7 years, and I will never forget them.
Right.
I will never forget them. I think of them often with great affection. They stepped in when I was literally a toddler.
Wow.
And took care of me. And they were older, but they gave me what you described, a relationship which I would not have had. Right. And I don't think there's a greater gift we can give a child than to say you're connected to somebody.
Right.
You're connected. All right. Well, folks, this has been my guest, Leon Moore. He is on the ground floor of a ministry called On Solid Ground, New Hampshire.org. I would invite you to go check it out and do a couple of things if you can. I don't ask you for money. I don't ask my followers for money on here a lot, but I'm going to recommend that if they can, that they send you a gift to help you get this thing off the road. God is going to supply your need. Of that I am confident. And if you can give, and if you can't give, you can pray. Yeah. And you can ask God to supply Leon and his wife and their board as they're putting it together. They can pray for you that God will supply the needs that you have. And this is a noble work you're doing. And I commend you for it, and I commend you for the faith. It's a challenging work in this world in which we're living. And I know, and everybody else knows, you're going to be dealing with young people who have significant challenges, maybe that other people don't have. And that's something to add to that. So I want to encourage you, press on, man. Don't get discouraged. Don't let anything get in your way. Keep plugging away and until what is it? Someone says, pray until something happens.
Yeah.
Push until something happens. And I want to thank you for being my guest tonight. I'm going to keep up with you. I want to encourage our viewers. Check in. I see Debbie and Robin in here, and there's some other folks who haven't identified themselves. And a lot of people will be watching this over the next few weeks, that it'll be up on the internet. And I'm hoping that this will reach somebody maybe who has exceptional finances, who can step in and help you. God has men and God has women that he has blessed with the ability to make money, and he's given them very generous hearts. And so we're going to pray that this reaches some of those hearts, and you get the support that you need. Leon, thank you very, very much for coming in. I want you to stay right where you are for a minute. I'm going to send you to the green room for a second, but don't cut off. I'll be back to you in just a couple of minutes. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, my friend. Well, that was my new friend, Leon Moore, and he is from Charlestown, New Hampshire. He is starting a ministry called onsolidgroundnewhampshire.org. It is a ministry that's going to be reaching young people, many of whom will be aging out of the foster care system, and they don't have the training, they don't have the knowledge of how to balance their checkbook, or how to get a job, or how to manage a home, or any of those things. And they are believing God that they're going to be able to build a home for these young people to come in and live and learn to cook, and learn to sew, and learn to manage their finances, and learn how to look for a job and get a job and keep it. And these are valuable skills. These are valuable skills that every young person needs to have. And if they don't have parents, to teach them these things, then they're going to be in a hard way. And that's why many, many young people end up in drug addiction and alcohol addiction. They end up on the streets. They end up in prison. They end up in jail. And I believe this man has a heart for these young people, and he warrants our prayers, and he warrants our support. Listen, don't forget to join me on the 28th of October on Live Mic at 9 a.m. for my visit with my friend Pat Durgan of Marketers on a Mission. It's a Christian marketing organization. She deals with all sorts of people involved in ministry that are trying to reach the public, and she helps them do that. And she's a very vivacious, bubbly woman, and you're going to love Patricia Durgan when she comes in. This has been Night Mike. I'm Mike Gantt. Hey, listen, men, don't forget, Leadership and Legacy, October 25th at 8 a.m. at Redemption Church, which is on Back Westminster Road in Westminster, Vermont. Put it in your GPS and come and join us. You can go to their website. Let me put it up here. You can go to their website, which is redemptionchurchvermont.org, and they have a registration form there, and you can sign up. Join me. It'll be a great, great time. This has been Night Mike. I'm your host, Mike Gantt. God bless you. I'll see you the next time.